Hey now, this is Alexandra No I, and I am keeping it light this week. I recently got a reminder that I need to give myself opportunity and permission to take it easy, and so that is what I am doing today. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. Um, Folks have been talking about their year end. You know, streaming platform review. Spotify's it's Wrapped. You Apple Music is Replay, and YouTube Music is Recap. Um, I did make a point of pretty much exclusively using YouTube Music and YouTube for my music listening this year. So this should be a pretty accurate capture, but I will give a little bit of context before I dive. Okay, so boom. I come by being a music lover, honestly. My mom, my dad, her dad, and that's just what I know about. So I spent a good chunk of my youth in jazz clubs. Um, so live instrumentation, live vocals are something I greatly appreciate. When I say jazz, I'm talking Duke Ellington, Miles Davis. I'm not talking about Boney James. He's cool, but that's not what I'm talking about when I say jazz. Um, and then I was traveling from December of 2023 through July, doing, in addition to the driving to get from place to place, I was also doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. So I was spending a lot of time in my car, though that time was split between YouTube. I have YouTube Premium. When you pay for a year, it comes with YouTube Music. So that was also um, what contributed to my choice of YouTube Music as a primary source. It also does factor in the music that I like watch on YouTube. So while I was listening to a lot of music, of course, I also was listening to and watching a lot of videos during that time. Um, but only the music ones and the podcasts would show up in this, I believe. What else? Those are some of the core things. So with that, it might look different than if I had spent uh, like a full year in an office environment. That might have been more audiobooks or, different types of music, right? Because sometimes we need a different, we use music to shift gears sometimes. And I was shifting gears by driving, so I may not have needed that. And then, too, the travel was like some places I was exploring for the first time. I did get to spend, um, I'd say from mid January through mid February, I was in Southern California, which is where I was born and raised. So not only, in real life, there was a lot of reflecting and reminiscing. I don't readily recall if that was true of the music I was listening to in that time. We'll find that out in a second. But um, I'm also thinking, just in general, even aside from the unique circumstances of this year, typically because of the way that the recap used to look, particularly with that playlist, I would generally start a year by listening to that playlist. So the way they do it now, instead of having that fixed playlist, they have a rolling recap playlist of what you've been listening to. I don't know what the exact period is. All right, so now I am tapping on Get Your Recap. It is here, your 2024 recap. Let's kick things off with a vibe check, shall we? You're listening this year, it's giving high key, loungy, dramatic hip hop. You racked up 34,103 minutes of listening this year, and you explored 3,661 different tracks, but one became your theme song. Your top track, Coke Dope Crack Smack by J Doe. First listen date January 10th. Total listen time 170 minutes. Listen, and that song is old, but like I just got hip to it. These are the top 5 songs on your 2024 soundtrack. Coke Dope's Crack Smack, Czar Remix, that's by Busta Rhymes. Made You Look Remix by Nas. Lil Wayne, Ice Cream Paint Job, and Effin' Problems by ASAP Rocky. Your year had a whole cast of characters, but only one could be the star. Your top artist, Busta Rhymes, 16 hours, 65 songs. How much of a fan were you? Let's find out. You were in the top 0.1% of Busta Rhymes listeners. You listened to them 48 times more. Uh-oh. 48 times as much as the average listener. Now let's roll credits on your supporting cast. Your top artists of 2024 were Busta Rhymes, 16 hours, Mos Def, Kendrick Lamar, Anderson .Paak, Lil Wayne. You might be able to guess which one got bumped up in the last month or so. You had main character energy. Let's play back the plot of your year. January, your top month with your favorite, Busta Rhymes. In January, you also had Coke Dope Crack Smack on repeat. August was all about more mellow, thoughtful tracks. Sometimes you just gotta sit with your feels. November was your most adventurous month. Way to discover new music. If your year were a movie, you would be The Time Traveler. Your listening traversed the decades, melodically exploring all year long. Some people are all talk, but you really know how to listen, especially when it comes to podcasts. Your top podcast, Jenkins and Jones. You spent 322 minutes listening to it in 2024. Your top 5 podcasts were Jenkins of Jones, House of the Dragon Season 2 by Heavy Spoilers, House of the Dragon by Manic Meats, Stumble Well, a marriage podcast by Hollies, and Not a Podcast by Rob Markman. You really commit to the artists you love. Because why listen to singles when you can binge a whole album? Your top albums were Black on Both Sides by Mos Def, 3 hours, Fully High Harmony by Boys to Men, The New Danger, Mos Def, Belly, Original Motion Picture Soundtrack, various artists, and New Beginning by SWV. Ooh, I might have to listen to that. This year certainly had its ups and downs, man. These were your musical moods. Chill 26%, dramatic 19%, sad 19%, love 16%, energizing 17%. Well, that's a wrap on 2024. See you for recap the sequel. So, um, it gives you these 2 months with the specific information and your top fives in these different categories. Um, but not as many individual songs. But yeah, that's what I was listening to the most this year. What were some of the things that came up in your rap, recap, replay, whatever title calls theirs? Drop it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.